Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back, Lawn Demons. We're here on Tuesday. If I recall, I think we were looking at a bit of a challenge in the weather, but let's jump in and see what we can get cracking at today. Alright, so as always we have 5 options. So it looks like we've got several pickup jobs. We've got the orchard that I just did, and then we have this rear garden, which was not really large, but it gives us a good amount of RP value, which is interesting. So I think I am going to go ahead and I am going to put Eevee on that one, and that will, give us 2,000 pounds again. We'll have to pay her. But like this job, given that we're paying her, I think 300 or something, although that may be a weekly payment, I'm always struggling a little bit with that. Yeah, because this is also a recommended deck with a 150, which we don't have, but let's see. The rear lawn at Rowley Manor is the owner's pride and joy. It needs to be cut with either a mulcher or collector to avoid leaving any clippings. High fines will be applied if there's damage or any clippings remain. Alright, so we need 5.5 centimeters. So, yeah, we should be good. We've got a mulcher. We'll do that, but I'm thinking, it's telling me recommended cut time 9 minutes. So this should be a nice quick day. So a lot of space there. That's always good. Yeah, the nice thing is, it looks like I can see some blue shovel laying there. This looks like it should be one of the easier jobs I've had. So, let's head in. Whoops. So, I can already see stuff laying around. So there's 3 of them. Let's see. This should not be that hard. Of course, I say that, and there we go. Alright. Now, the trick is, how do we get... Can I get in this way? Let me find my way. Alright, because, yeah, I obviously don't want to go down the stairs. So, alright. So, we'll get on the vehicle, start the engine, and then I'm going to need to adjust the height. Let's see. Okay, see. Alright, so that looks like that's about what we need there. So I can lower that down. And other than it taking a little bit of time here, now my concern is these little, I'm worried about whatever this edging is. It doesn't seem to be giving me anything, but I don't know. Alright. We're gonna go, and we'll see if I can see how fast I can go here. Alright, I'm just worried about those little balls there. But it looks like I should be okay. So, it's more the question of, how quickly can I get around here. I might want to do the edges, so I don't want to go too terribly fast, but this speed should be reasonable, because I think that's the issue where we talked about with some potential damage. So I know I've got a little bit of a challenge there, but they may be extra picky, or I just may be talented enough at this point, given that I'm not a new new lawn service that I just will be successful in being able to do this pretty efficiently for them. So we'll see how everything comes together. Because I think this was the challenge I had with the 1 yard, was just, you know, always having enough, you know, enough to cut. I mean, in the beginning it's easy because there's nothing that's been removed, but then, you know, we have a little bit of a challenge. You know, but it's not telling me I'm cutting at the wrong height, you know, because it was 4.5 to 5.5 centimeters. Didn't look like I could adjust myself in a 0.5 centimeter width, you know, and once again, I'm not going to turn really sharp because that is where I'm going to get myself in trouble as far as spinning my tires and tearing up the surface, which I'm sure would be very, very disconcerting to this poor individual who owns this yard. So I don't want to do that, but with the rain, I'm probably potentially very likely to slip, so I do want to be careful and just not do anything that would be problematic that way. But we're already at 1/4 of the yard done, but it's going to get more challenging as we once again start kind of running out of grass that hasn't been cut. So let's be upfront with that. And there's obviously more room back there to not collide into the wall and so forth. But in general, I think this is working out nicely. The nice thing is, you know, given that they are so concerned about this lawn, it looks like they don't let it get overgrown like I had with some of the last jobs I had. So it allows me to go, you know, right around here at 4 miles per hour, as you can see. And while the lawnmower can go at 6, there just isn't enough room to frankly maneuver that way. So I think that would just be pushing things far, far too much to do that. You know, and at this point, I'm just kind of quickly cutting through and seeing, you know, I should be able to get halfway before I know it. But yeah, at this point now we're kind of going to be running through and having to find a lawn to mow. So if that makes sense. So I'm going to come around here, and, you know, again, I can see this side, so I can maximize my cutting width. And now we're just going to start kind of heading up, you know, the other way that we were going. And I should be good. And then getting some thinner swaths, and this might work. I think in the middle I left a little too much space. So I kind of want to make this a tighter turn, but I don't know that I can easily do that because I want to get to this side. So I know I left a little bit there, but all those pieces are going to be simpler. Alright, we've crossed the 50% threshold, so that was certainly the big one. But I may stick with this, and then depending on what we have next, you know, it just determines, do we continue, or do we look for, you know, a really short episode here, which is a possibility too. Because the nice thing is, you know, we may advance because we're going to get a good amount of money. I mean, the thing is, if we can get big jobs like that, and I can put EV on them, and I have little jobs like this, like, we can make some good progress. Because we're going to gain the income we need to do the weekly payment. Because once again, I'm pretty sure even with paying her and whatever else, she will make enough in that job to have made the loan payment for the week. And we've already made the loan payment for the week yesterday. But if I can get 1,350 pounds plus a day, you know, I can have enough to, well, we can very quickly maybe even pay this thing off, which would be even better. Because if I don't have to make a loan payment, you know, I think I'm paying 35% interest on that thing. So if I can just pay it early, which I might even be able to do today, you know, that would be interesting for sure. Because I think that's where some businesses, you know, maybe make some poor calls where they're like, well, I don't need to pay it yet, so I'll keep the cash, but that's a little bit of a fool's errand that way, because we're losing money to do that. Alright, I just wanted to be really careful that I don't think I can do damage on the ground, and, you know, it's possible. The one thing we haven't had to do is, I know there's stripe cuts, you know, and I think I've seen the controls for that, but I don't know that I have a mower that'll do it, or if every mower has that capability. I'm not sure. But I don't have one of those yet, but, you know, maybe that will be some of the new jobs that we'll have to learn in the future here. I think I got that. I was worried I missed a little bit. Are we going to hit 75 by the time we get to the end of this? I'm not quite sure that we're going to quite get there, but I would think by the end of the next pass for certain. Alright, so yeah, see, I left a very large section there in the center. Alright, now we're at 75%. And again, because we don't have the deck width, we're not able to get that cut done in 9 minutes like they had suggested. I'm going to swing a little wide. Thought that would happen. I'd leave a little bit, but it's alright. We're still getting the general gist of what we want here. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to finish this completely. Looks like I might for part of it, because it kind of looks like I'm almost cutting at a little bit of an angle. I'm going to swing a little further out here. I'll leave that one to get when I come back, but you know, this is now where we're running at. This is going to take longer because I'm only cutting probably 30% of my width, of my you know, deck width here. I just don't have enough grass left. So once again, I got a good portion there, but now we're going to have a segment that I don't think I can finish, so now I'll go back, get that little one, and that will, you know, maybe get us 0.5% if I'm lucky across the yard, but, well, it did. Now again, we're getting a little bit bigger here. Get that. Just gotta be careful that I don't suddenly do some damage, because I'm also not getting paid a whole lot for this job. You know, let's keep that in mind. It's only 200 pounds or something. So it's very easy, you know, if I take a 10-pound penalty or something, that's, you know, 5% of my income gone. So while this is a quick job, you know, the thing that makes today worthwhile is the fact that Evie gets to do the orchard for, or another orchard for 2,000. I would imagine it would be a different orchard, but it may not be. They may just let us keep recycling those. Again, I'm not sure that I'm going to get everything I need. I'm not. So, let's see. I think there was a small, thin one here somewhere, too. Maybe, oh yeah, at the end there, I think. Where I wasn't quite making it, and then I'll come back and get this. And so this is a little bit of the time-consuming piece. You know, I'm going to burn a little bit more fuel, do a little bit more wear and tear to my equipment in getting this done. But this is a good job. Like, this is a job that I would expect more in America, where I've just got all kinds of room and I can just fly around, you know, with a bigger deck, a zero-turn mower. I mean, that's the thing. I think if I could get a zero-turn mower and really, like, learn how to operate it well, you just stop, spin around, and turn right around. Like, I've seen these guys run these things, and I think I can make some real money, but I need, you know, 30,000 pounds or something to even be able to afford one of those, let alone two of those. So, you know, because then what I'll probably do is, you know, once I can afford that, I'll get one. And that's partially what I've been debating is, you know, there is a little bit of that of, well, don't pay off the loan, but I still think it's a bad idea. Like, why would I give free interest away? I get I could get equipment a little bit faster, but from a financial stewardship standpoint, it's honestly a really bad thing. So, alright, so let me turn that off, and we are done. 13 minutes in, not too bad. So we'll just head on back over. And, you know, the nice thing with the electric mower is pretty quiet here when I'm not cutting anything. So I'm sure the homeowner appreciates that. Just want to be careful here, not taking more space than I need. But, you know, a nice, quick, tidy job. So, always a good thing. There we go. Alright, so no penalties, which is a great thing. I got some ground check earnings and time bonus. So, you know, we got to 7,000, and again, the biggest thing was that 361 RP, and then, you know, 1627, because once again, I'm sure we're paying, yeah, I'm not quite sure why, but yeah, it's probably paying her a bit and so forth. Although that's weekly salary, but then we have maintenance and so forth. So we don't have enough to pay off the loan. So let us take a look here at what we've got. Alright, so I can do that job again. Alright, now these are two good RP values. Alright, so this is a stripe cut. Okay, so this can do a tiger stripe kit. I'm just trying to see. So these are all recyclers. Alright, so that Skag has a potential tiger stripe kit. A mulch plug, discharge, bagging. Alright, so we'd have to get something in between like this. You know, and again, it's a zero turn, but that's not an eco mower. Because, you know, we have this, which isn't an eco, but we don't have striping available. So that is a bit disappointing. So that's what this line is. So we have trash. Alright, so I'm going to do this one again, and I'm going to let Evie work this one. So we're going to get that, and then I will do this again. You know, and then, you know, we're going to have to figure out what to do with those in the future, because if I start getting a bunch of those, I'm going to have a problem. Alright, so I'm going to run around. I'm going to get this job done, because now you know exactly what it is. You don't need to watch me do it again, but I will do that, and I'll be back at the end of the day. So, finished up the rear yard here at Rowley again. A little bit faster, not much. I had to go search around for the last 1% or so, but ended up finding it relatively quickly. But otherwise, probably could have been done a minute before. Alright, so we'll have leveled up to, I assume, Trusted Rank 2. I do have to remember to do the repairs. I didn't do that last time, so yeah, we did quite a bit there. 487 RP. Definitely a good thing. Alright, so monthly profit. So this is our first monthly report. We made a good amount maintenance, so total profit was 7,000. So, you know, because basically we were playing with buildings, we got equipment. So, you know, it was a profitable month at the start, so not a bad thing. Alright, trusted rank 2. We're going to need 1,000 to get to trusted rank 3. So we've got just basically a new challenge, and that was it. Alright, so the loan amount is still not quite enough. Really disappointing. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get her this vehicle maintenance training. And that moves her up to a specialist, which increases her cost, but I think these actually are probably the best options for me. You know, I forgot I could have given her training the other day, so we could have moved up too, but that's okay. But then that should lower the maintenance costs over time on the equipment. But at this point, I think we certainly have got enough to go ahead and say we're in good shape. We'll keep working ahead. We've got a couple more days this week. You know, and if I can, you know, train Evie up, get her really going, I think that'll be the biggest benefit we've got if I can get some good profitable jobs and continue doing that. But even if I can't, you know, with 9,000 pounds, I think we're in excellent shape here. While I'd love to pay off that loan, I think continuing to advance the organization this way is important. You know, trying to not pay off the loan to save up to 30,000 pounds to get, you know, the equipment we need at the top end might be less of a smart move, but I think we're in good shape here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. If you've enjoyed the video and enjoyed this episode again, if you have not given it a like, please consider that. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please consider that. I will see you next time.